Going on, guys? CTG Matt back. We are reading a Bleacher Report article today. It is every NBA team's top 3 trade targets right now from Dan Favale. Dan, the man named Dan. Be Favale? Could be Favel. I don't know. Either way, every NBA team's top 3 trade targets right now. Trade deadline. Moving, kinda. DeAndre Hunter got traded last week. Some other, like, Dennis Schroeder again. Yay. V Crazy. A shooter got moved. Portland finally got their shooter. 3 trade targets, so of course some of them might not make sense. I perused the first one and was like, all right, well, that guy's not on the trade market. You know what? Let's just jump right into it, and you guys can make your own judgments. You're not dumb. Atlanta Hawks here, number 1. We got Andrew Nembhard, Ivica Zubac, and Trey Jones. The downside, only one of these guys is actually available. I don't think Indiana's letting go of Nembhard really now for no reason. Zubac, the Clippers have won too many games recently. And Trey Jones is the one that's probably available. I don't mind the idea of Trey Jones going to Atlanta, though. They don't have a traditional point guard now that Trae Young is out the door. I'm going to make myself smaller. I don't like how big I am. Trae Young out the door means they don't have really a traditional table setter. And while Jalen Johnson's very good on the break, and he can pass, like he's a very good passer, it'd be nice to have a guy who can do it in the half court a little bit and create some easy offense. Trey Jones can do that. He's very much so like his brother. Andrew Nembhard would be like the ideal fit because he would help them defensively, because the Hawks are not a good defensive team right now. Andrew Nembhard would step in and day one help that. And so would Ivica Zubac. It's just neither one of these guys are available. If they were, the Atlanta Hawks with Ivica Zubac, we're talking business now, because this is a team with no fucking size. Their center's 6'8" Onyeka, 6'9". He's not 6'10". There's no way he's over 6'10", right? And that kind of hurts them in the rebounding category. It means that thing is either going to Jalen Johnson or the other team. It's real tough. I think they've lost back-to-back as well. Zubac would be a perfect fit. So would Nembhard. Unfortunately, the only realistic one here is Big Trey Jones, who did get an extension, and he's not a bad player, though, so don't want to dig on him, and make it sound like I think he's terrible. He's actually a decent player, Trey Jones. Boston Celtics, it's all centers. Day'Ron Sharpe, Yves Missi, Quentin Post. Keep Quentin Post the fuck away from my team, please. I'm a Celtics fan. Don't let this shit happen. Don't bring Quentin Post anywhere near my team. Day'Ron, I will take Day'Ron, though. Love me a good screen-setting big man who's a tough rebounder. Doesn't really do a ton with the ball, but he's tough as nails. Day'Ron Sharpe's best quality. He is close to he's not close to, because they have different play styles, but he's like an Isaiah Stewart style of big man, except he doesn't stretch the floor like Beef Stew does. Big Eve. I'm a fan of Yves Missi. Of course, Derek Queen is the center of the future in New Orleans now, so maybe that makes Eve expendable. Not really sure if that's how that mentality should work, but it's how it looks from the outside looking in, at least. Eve is a roll man, big man, Clint Capella style, a traditional big in the modern NBA. That's what Yves Missi is. Roll man, dunk man, block man, very traditional, and he has decent size. And Quentin Post, I don't want. Don't do it. I don't know how it happens, but Quentin Post seems to have a little bit of a mean streak in him. I've seen a lot of guys get into it with Quentin Post recently, and it's really weird because it's like, bro, you're Quentin Post. I know he can stretch the floor a little bit, but I think the Warriors would just rather have him, than not. If the alternative was have Quentin Post or don't have Quentin Post, I think I know which one the Warriors are picking. All centers. The issue is with the Celtics, their only real trade asset is Anthony Simons. And I love Anthony Simons. Actually, if you watched their game yesterday against Milwaukee, the Celtics started out flat. Horrible looking. And then the Inferno checked in. And all of a sudden, it was a tie game. And then all of a sudden, they were up 20, right? Anthony Simons really started a lot of that run yesterday. He played so well in his minutes, and he's made himself harder to trade because it's like he's playing so well. Why would I get rid of a guy who's killing it right now? That's why I'm hoping somehow they can develop Amari Williams into being a good backup center. I love Luka Garza, but if we need someone a little bit bigger with more size, Amari Williams could definitely help. It would be nice to get a backup center, but unfortunately, like I said, really the only way you're going to be able to get there is if you give up a Simons or a Hauser or a Gonzalez. I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not sure I'm a big fan of it, especially right now with Tatum not sure if he's playing this year or not. If Tatum's not playing this year, I don't know how I feel about doing buy-in trades. If they're on extended deals, like Eve's still on his rookie deal. Maybe I would trade for Yves Missi because he has control and he'll be here when Tatum gets back. But if Tatum ain't coming back this season, don't trade for a rental. Just don't trade for a rental. Brooklyn Nets, Ron Holland, Jeremy Sohan, and Jaden Ivey. They said, you guys want the Pistons stuff? You're going to take the Pistons. How do you guys want the Pistons castaway young guys? Because that's what you're getting. I understand they stink. Full disclosure, the Nets are bad. I mean, their last few losses have been just ugly games where they aren't even close to competitive. You know, you think about the Knicks loss, their loss last night to, I forget who, Detroit or something like. They got pummeled. The Nets are a weird team because they've had stretches where they played quite well. But, I mean, now they're in such a lull. They're putting up like 60s on some nights, and that's just unacceptable. Should they be striving for Jeremy Sohan? No, he's terrible. I'm no disrespect. It came off as disrespectful. I don't want to be an asshole. What is the best quality of Jeremy Sohan's game? What is his attribute that you can look at and say, that's the one thing I like about him? Fucking tenacity. Is that his best attribute, is tenacity? Ron Holland would be good for them. They could use another a nice little athletic wing. They don't have that many wings. I mean, Zaire Williams has played well. Honestly, Ron Holland and Zaire Williams on the perimeter sounds like hell to play against. But Jaden Ivey would be interesting because he'd be a guard that could create, unlike their current guards that can't create right now. I don't know. I don't mind this idea of trading Michael Porter Jr. to the Pistons and picking up some young players. It's not something I dislike for them. Charlotte, Herb, Najee, Gigi, a couple of wings, and Gigi Jackson for whatever reason. If you want to take a gamble on a young guy, sure. Gigi's what, 20, 21 still? He's real young. I don't think Herb Jones is on the market. I don't. I love what the Hornets are doing recently, though. This has been one of the more fun teams to watch since the start of the year. Like, they've won, 7 out of their last 8 out of their last 9. They beat Wemby and the Spurs. They are rolling. And a big reason why a lot of people are like, LaMelo's taking less bad shots. He still takes them. They just go in sometimes now. To me, the biggest differentiator was, they're healthy. They aren't starting random insert role player where it's like, how the hell did they end up starting? I don't know. I'm thinking of a random player, Tidjan. Why is Tidjan starting at the 3? You know, they're not starting bad players right now. And Moussa Diabate is taking a step up. Who else is taking a step up? Brandon Miller has been really good recently. I just don't think Herb is available. I'm pretty sure the Pelicans themselves announced Herb Jones was not available. Najee Marshall would be a good pickup for them, though. Nice little point forward action. He can come off the bench and create a little bit. Najee Marshall would be a good pickup for the Hornets. They already have a good scoring guard off the bench in Colin Sexton. It'd be nice if you had a good scoring wing off the bench in Najee Marshall. Then you bring him off the bench. I mean, you can bring a lineup with Sexton, Najee, Zion James, Ryan Kalkbrenner. That's a bench unit. That's not bad. Grant Williams. Slowly talked myself into really liking this Hornets team. I said at the beginning of the year I really like their center rotation. I just like how they play as a team now. Plus, Charles Lee, I believe, comes off the Missoula coaching tree. So I gotta salute my guy. They shouted out my guy in here, Moussa Diabate. I love Moussa Diabate. So talented. Able to switch, can still rebound. He can hang with a 7-footer down low, even though he's not 7 feet. His wingspan is out of the... I mean, he can touch both ends of the gym. Like, he's nuts. Who else we got down here? The Chicago Bulls, P. Watt. Yeah, that should be their guy, is Peyton Watson. I completely agree. Who would the Nuggets want for Peyton Watson, though? I don't know. Maybe it's an Ayo Dosunmu or something of the sort. Because Peyton Watson has shown that in an extended role, like in a bigger role, he can go. Like, he can score, he can play defense still, and he's super damn good. Peyton Watson over the last month with Jokic out has been just on another level that we've not seen before from him. He's shown on-ball creation, which is something he's never shown in his NBA career. So getting him into Chicago would allow him more on-ball opportunities, plus he can defend, plus he still has a good guard that can get him the ball in Josh Giddey. It's not a great scenario for him because you go from potentially winning a championship in Denver to not even having a snowball's chance in hell in Chicago. But Peyton Watson, in an increased role, has shown he can go get some buckets, and he can rebound a little bit too. I've just started pounding the drum of, like, get Peyton Watson in a situation where he can strive a little bit more. I really like what I've seen out of P. Watt. Of course, the Nuggets are in no real rush to trade him right now. You know what I mean? There's no real, like, we gotta go. He can hang around and still be really damn good on a championship level team. These other two, I mean, Derek Lively's been hurt most of the year. Justin Edwards is, it's an option. He plays for Philly, like, he's on the team. He had a really big game against the Celtics earlier this year. I tell you what, that made me mad because I don't think he's had another really good game like that since. Maybe they go get a Zeke Naji. Oh, Kobe White or Ayo Dosunmu. That's what I thought it was going to be going to Denver in a Peyton Watson deal, was an Ayo or a Kobe. But even then, it's like, those are rentals. I don't know what P. Watt's contract looks like, but I don't know. What is the talent discrepancy between an Ayo and a Peyton Watson? It's not crazy. You know, it's not, these aren't miles apart players. I think you'd be getting marginally better at a position that you do need to get better guard, but like Jalen Pickett's fine. I don't know. I don't think they should be in a rush to trade P. Watt right now, but for the Bulls, Peyton Watson is the guy. Cavs, Herb Jones, Jalen Wells, Kenrich Williams. I don't know if they need wings or not because they just traded DeAndre Hunter for 2 guards, so their wing positions aren't bad though. Like, you think about it, Jalen Tyson, that's a 3 right there. My favorite player on the Cleveland Cavaliers, Tomlin time, Naquan Tomlin. I'm a big fan of his. He dunks everything. Plus, like, they have young guys that are kind of 2s. Like, I wouldn't consider, I mean, he plays guard, but like a Tyrese Proctor can play a 2 role. He's like 6'4", 6'5". He can play the 2. Dean Wade, of course. Max Strus is coming back. They have wings. They just gave up DeAndre Hunter. I don't think that they'd be giving up DeAndre Hunter and saying, all right, got to refocus and go get that wing position back. They would have just kept DeAndre Hunter if they were that desperate for wing play. They say they need help in the front court. Then Kenrich Williams is your guy. Because if you need help in the front court, what I'm taking that as is you need help with size and guys who play bigger than they are. Herb is a very good defender, don't get me wrong. But like Kenrich Williams is a guy that can bang in the paint. He's a guy that can guard a 4 or maybe even a 5 for a possession or 2. If these are your options, I want Kenrich Williams more than anyone else because of the fact that he is a switchable player, because of the fact that he will guard 1 through 5. He's just much more versatile. But yeah, I like what Cleveland's working with right now. I don't know if they need wings. Like I said, you traded DeAndre Hunter. Plus, like, how much size do you need in the front court when Jarrett Allen's got 40 and 17? Donovan Clingan, bro. All right, we're going to talk about that one for a second. Donovan Clingan, what the fuck are you doing? Like, 40 to Jarrett Allen, they should give Donovan Clingan an award for how easy that 40 ball was. His first half yesterday, maybe the worst basketball I've ever seen Donovan Clingan play in his entire basketball life, because I watched him at UConn. It's never been as bad as it was yesterday. I don't think Clingan's a bad player. I just think he has rough nights. He's still young. And he doesn't have much help down low. Robert Williams, their backup center, he's consistently in and out. And then Yang Hansen, he's in the G. Dallas Mavericks, Colin Murray-Boyles. If the Raptors trade Colin Murray-Boyles, it'd be a monumental failure for them. I'm just putting that out there. Who would they be getting back? The Raptors would probably be getting Daniel Gafford or something of the sort. It'd be a win-now move, don't get me wrong, but Colin Murray-Boyles has been holding shit down. If the Mavericks were to get Colin Murray-Boyles, it would be awesome for them. It would be a great fit next to Cooper. Just another great defender with size that can play next to Coop. And by the way, their own first-round pick is the answer to 2 of these. Who has their first-round pick? The Charlotte Hornets own their 2027 pick. It's top 2 protected, while the Thunder have their rights for 2028 first. They don't have their own pick. Wow. I didn't know that. That they need to get those back. Yeah, that's a bad look. The Denver Nuggets, Ayo Dosunmu, Justin Champagnie would change their season. I think that's the one on the Wizards. I'm pretty sure that's the one on the Wizards. Him on a championship team, like, maybe he turns into his brother Julian, turns into a little bit more of a bomber from 3. It'd be nice to see. They said the Nuggets are destined to make a trade with the Bulls. Here's Sticks. I like Sticks as a backup 5-man. That could work a little bit. Yeah, you can play the 4 next to Jokic a little bit too if you really need to. If you want Jalen Smith production, Just give Day'Ron Holmes more PT. I don't know. I don't see the Day'Ron Holmes vision yet that I wanted to see. I don't know. Zeke Najee's played well. Pistons, Michael Porter Jr., Trey Murphy, Lauri Markkanen. They said, you guys need a shooting wing. That's it. That's literally all they listed is shooting, 3-point shooting wings. And damn it, they're right. The Pistons can't make threes consistently, and that's troublesome. Bottom 5 3-point shooting, bottom 5 free throw shooting team as well. Golden State Warriors, Giannis, MPJ, Andrew Wiggins. The Wiggins reuniting, I don't get. Why do we want that? It didn't work out. Oh, they won a championship, don't get me wrong. But then they ran it back, and, like, Wiggins wasn't on nothing last time he was there. Do you think Wiggins wants to go back? Like, do you think he has a point to prove? Giannis, their trade package for Giannis fucking sucks. I don't get this hype behind the Warriors trade package. It stinks. It actually does. Because they'd be trading Butler's contract plus Podziemski or Moody or young guys in general. Their young players aren't that good to begin with. That's an issue. And don't nobody want your Moses Moody, bro. Don't walk into the bar, be like, yo, let me get the best beer you have, and then throw down a fucking Brandon Podziemski, bro. That's like a penny. Get that shit off the counter, bro. Nobody wants that. Their Giannis package is just not special. And that's I'm not even entertaining that. Giannis is the dream. Here's the thing. You got to wake up from the dream. The Rockets, Ryan Rollins, Peyton Pritchard, Cam Spencer. 3 guards. If they could get Ryan Rollins, I don't know how much that would help. Peyton Pritchard, what are you going to do with that? And then Cam Spencer. I mean, Cam Spencer, I think, wouldn't be a bad fit. He could shoot a little bit. He could ball handle a little bit. I don't mind a little Cam Spencer. I don't know. Peyton Pritchard's not available. I'll go ahead and put the kibosh on that one. They need guard play. Why aren't they a Trey Jones suitor? They have the Dorian Finney-Smith contract. They have a young guy they could send out if they need to. I don't know. Picks-wise, I don't know. I could see them. They could be a Trey Jones team, too. They really just need a table setter. The Pacers, Zubats, Misi, Lively. They're in the same damn boat as the Celtics. You need a bunch of centers. And it's true. Jay Huff is having a decent season. He's not a starter quality center, I wouldn't say yet. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But Zubats is a pipe dream now for a lot of teams because the Clippers are just good now, which kind of sucks for trade season. Fully disclosed there. As a content creator, the Clippers being good sucks. I wanted to see James Harden and Zubats get traded at the deadline. Neither one's available now, I would say. It's tough. That's tough for me. Selfishly, that's tough. But for Clippers fans, I'm sure you're happy to be a decent team now. For the Pacers, though, this makes absolute sense. They need center play so desperately, and all these guys check the boxes of the exact big they need. Miles Turner works so well for them, but, like, you're not getting Miles back, and there's no Miles Turner in the NBA. There isn't, like, I wouldn't sit back and say that there's a single guy in the NBA that is like Miles Turner, a 3-and-D center. Literally, that's it, because he doesn't rebound. The closest thing I thought would turn into Miles Turner was Ryan Kalkbrenner, but they don't let him shoot like he did in college, so it doesn't really matter. Who we got? Clippers, Anthony Simons, Sir Left Hand, and Kobe White. Guard play? Yeah, they do need a backup ball handler. James Harden's good. But I'm happy they're just letting their young guys rock. At this point, don't even bother trading for anybody. Just let the young guys rock like they have been. Kobe Brown, Kobe Sanders, Yannick Niederhauser. Let the young guys play. And that's kind of what sparked this whole thing was that Ty Lue let the young guys play and they simplified the shit out of their defense. I believe it was when they got bumped from the play-in tournament, and when the play-in tournament was going on and everyone besides the 2 teams in the final got like a 4 days rest or whatever, I believe that's what I heard the Clippers did, was that they went in and they basically simplified the shit out of their defense. And they made it so that way James Harden can look serviceable again, because the way he was playing the first 20 games of the season on defense was horrible. But having Kawhi back actually helps a ton. The rest of this, though, Kobe White would definitely help. Terrence Shannon, I don't know how much they need him. Anthony Simons would definitely help too, though. The Lakers, what is it, just a bunch of wings? Wing, and Robert Williams? Yeah. They already have... here's the thing. Herb Jones would be absolutely perfect for them. Like, that's their ideal fit. Dean Wade, this would be the greatest D. Wade LeBron's ever played with in his career. Undoubtedly. I can't even think of another one, right? So it makes perfect sense. They need wings. My brother asked me this question the other day. If you're LeBron James or Luka Doncic, game's ending, you get 2 defenders on you, it's one shot. There's no dribbling. It's just whoever gets the ball gets the shot. Are you passing that motherfucker to Dalton Connect or Jake LaRavia? And it was a real question where I was like, well, I think we're losing the game regardless. These 2 would help you not lose the game in that scenario because they can at least knock down 3. They need to get Dalton Connect off the roster too. Just get big defenders. Dean Wade fits. Herb Jones fits. Just big defenders, big wings. That's what they need. And then a backup big man. Jackson Hayes ain't bad, but DeAndre Ayton's actually abysmal. So Memphis Grizzlies, they got targeting Scoot Henderson. That says literally any Sacramento Kings first-round pick. That's crazy, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong. If the Grizzlies or if the Kings want Ja Morant so bad, I would actually take it and be like, you know what? Just give us 2 first-round picks. We'll be good. Because the Kings are going to be terrible with Ja Morant. Boy, they got Colin Murray-Boyles just flying around this motherfucker. Everyone wants Colin Murray-Boyles. Colin Murray-Boyles, to me, is like if Brandon Clark was better and healthier because he's like a smaller 4 that can play the 5, controls the lane, but he can step out a little bit more than Brandon Clark can. Scoot Henderson would be interesting, though. I'm surprised nobody has Scoot Henderson mocked going anywhere. He hasn't been healthy. A team can take a flyer on him, and maybe they get some point guard production out of him. I don't know. I think his development's going to be stunted when he comes back regardless because they have Denny now, and they have like a good amount of creators, Drew Holiday. They don't need Scoot Henderson to be a creator anymore. And so, I don't know. He kind of does need a reset. Miami Heat, Giannis. Their Giannis trade package is fucking terrible too. I don't know. The best trade package for Giannis is Portland because they own Milwaukee's first-round picks. They could just give Milwaukee their own first-round picks back. They could take a Scoot Henderson or a Yang Hansen. Those are 2 interesting young players that they can give back. And then the Jeremy Grant deal. I mean, you're already basically there. The Blazers have the best trade package for Giannis. The Heat's trade package is what? Tyler Hero for the 8th year in a row. Zion would be interesting in Miami. I don't know how he'd handle the nightlife area aspect of it, but is Spo with him? The body fat percentage clauses in their contract? I don't know. It's not a bad thought. And then Ben Mathurin. Ben Mathurin in Miami would be something else. It feels like he'd just be Norm Powell, but maybe a little bit bigger. Milwaukee, their own first-round picks. Yeah, that's the way, man. Portland's got their nuts, dude. They don't have their own first-round picks, controlled by Atlanta in 2026, the Pelicans in 27, the Blazers from 28 to 30, and the Wizards in 2028. Yeah, they don't own their own picks. The Portland Trailblazers own 3 of them, so trading him to Portland, in my opinion, would be best-case scenario, but I don't even know if Portland wants Giannis. Dylan Harper and Amen Thompson. They're basically just saying get any young player back for Giannis, and that should be exactly how they look at things. Minnesota, Kobe, Ayo, Cam Spencer. Guard. That's what Minnesota needs, man. Late game, if it's a close game, it just becomes Anthony Edwards, heave. And it's worked because he's been really efficient in the clutch this year. Don't get me wrong. But it's not great offense in the long run where it's just one guy go. And it works. It works in the regular season. I just have noticed, like, once he starts to get doubled, stuff like that, make the other guys make plays, they haven't. And, yeah, these 2 can definitely make plays. Ayo and Kobe, they're both having great years. Pelicans, Sam Hauser, Moses Moody, Corey Kispert. What the fuck? They said, y'all want a white guy or Moses Moody? These are Corey Kispert, Sam Hauser. I mean, that's effectively the same player. Sam Hauser is better, but effectively the same player. And Moses Moody. Sure, Pelicans. Knicks. Giannis, Najee Marshall, Justin Champagnie. Justin Champagnie would be the dream for the Knicks. A bomber who can just get hot from 3. And you don't have to play Landry Sham shit. He played a great game yesterday, Shamit, but he's not good. So Champagnie would come in, soak up those weak-ass Landry Shamit minutes. Jordan Clarkson, watch your back too. And then Najee Marshall would be a really good pickup for them too. Another good defending wing who can create with the ball. But like I said this in a video before, the Knicks should be aggressive beyond Giannis. Giannis isn't the end-all be-all for the Knicks. they can make a better, more well-rounded roster without going for Giannis. If anything, they probably would be better served if they want to make a more well-rounded team. They'd be better served not going for Giannis because it's going to take so much. OKC, first-round picks. I think what they should look for is a better backup center. So that way when Isaiah Hartenstein goes down, they don't look like a bunch of lost puppies. They have 30 first-round picks. They don't need more. What they could use is a backup center. They don't have a ton of contracts to trade, but either way, I would like to get a backup center because when Ihart was out, they didn't look great rebounding the ball, and they need a little bit of help with that. Orlando Magic, Colin Sexton, yeah, they could use a creator off their bench. They don't have many creators off the bench. I actually don't know if they have any, to be honest with you. They have some good players off the bench. Like if Anthony Black is coming off the bench, but he's been forced to start because of how good he's been. Like they do need a creator off the bench. These are just two shooters. Discount shooters would be a blessing for them. Discount shooters would actually be a blessing for the Orlando Magic. Bryce Sensabaugh hasn't knocked down his threes well this year, I don't think, but like he has shot 40% before. Svi Mykhailiuk has shot very well from three before. They just need discount shooters because they gave up a ton of assets for Bane. They need more than just one guy who can hit over 35% from three. Philly, Sadiq Bey. Okay. Tari Eason and Jay Huff. Okay. Backup center. Yeah, that wouldn't hurt. Would it? I don't know. Bona Drummond has held it down. I don't know. Drummond Bona? Would they be able to extend Tari Eason with that Paul George deal on the books? I don't know. With Paul George getting fucked by this suspension, what was he doing? So he said it was during a bout with mental health, I believe he said. Was this motherfucker taking mushrooms? Because he's talking about he took it for his mental health. I don't know any depression drug that has a steroid in it or an opioid. So my thought is like, was he microdosing mushrooms? Because you've heard that works for depression. It does. Outright, it does work for depression. I myself can't attest to that, but like there's medical journals done. That was my thought. Was he taking magic mushrooms? Don't know, but it really puts them in a very awkward spot. It really does put them in quite an awkward spot. They're a good team, but like no Paul George down the stretch is going to hurt them. They do need a wing. Sadiq Bey is not a bad option. He can come in and give you a couple of good games. Phoenix Suns, Zion, Rui, Keegan Murray. What would they give up in a Zion deal? I don't know. And if it involves giving up Dillon Brooks, I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not. Someone like John Collins verges on ideal, but if you're giving up one or more of Grayson Allen, Dillon Brooks, or Royce O'Neal, you need to aim higher. Enter Zion. So you're going to trade Dillon Brooks for Zion? And Dillon Brooks has been like very close to Zion production-wise? I don't know. Mortgaging the farm for his services is a no-no. I don't know why. I don't think they should even do this. I don't think they should do any of these trades. I know I'm going to sound like the no fun man right here, but Keegan Murray maybe because he's long-term extended. But like, what is Rui Hachimura? It makes them marginally better, depending on who they give up, though. Are you going to be giving up Kaman Maluak for Rui Hachimura? Lakers need a backup center. Maluak is not developing, but like he needs development, and he could play center minutes. I don't know, but mortgaging just dumping the farm on Zion feels like the wrong decision. And Matt Ishbia has done that before, made the wrong decision. So he could again, you never know. Portland, Trey Murphy, Jaren Jackson, Sam Merrill, Grady Dick. Yeah. Grady, perimeter shooter, creator, can get buckets outside. Off the bench, they don't have many bench scoring facets. Caleb Love is that guy off the bench, but you know what? Why would they need Grady Dick if they have Caleb Love? They effectively play the same role. Just come in and bomb off the bench. And Merrill, they do need shooting, so that would definitely help. You can't rely on City Sissoko to be making threes consistently. Sam Merrill can, so that helps. And then Trey Murphy, Jaren Jackson would be interesting trade spots. Jaren playing next to Klingon would be all right for him because Jaren needs a good center next to him. Like, needs a big body. He played so well when Zach Edey was there. When Edey's not there, it's a completely different player. Trey Murphy would be almost ideal for them too. Scoot Henderson would probably be like the prized possession. I don't know. They have some young assets, like I said. Scoot, Yang Hansen, like they got some young guys they could toss around and with some picks, and especially Milwaukee's picks, and you can really make some big moves here. Sacramento, Terrence Shannon, R.J. Barrett, Jarace Walker. They just said take any buy low project you can find. Terrence Shannon doesn't get a ton of burn because he can only play basketball with one hand. He's a great defender, tenacious as hell. But, like, I've watched him take lefty layups on the left side, lefty layups on the right side, lefty layups from straight on. He'll take a lefty layup with somebody draped on his left arm. He's insane with his left hand. RJ Barrett is another Sir left hand, but I don't know. These guys are young and interesting, I guess. Jarace Walker's had a down year, but he's interesting. I don't know. They basically said just buy low and try shit, and I respect that. Spurs, Jaren next to Wemby would be crazy. It would be kind of crazy. Trey Murphy and Jalen Wells. Really, these aren't bad thoughts. I don't know if the Spurs are going to rush it, though. I think the Spurs are going to be a team where they're going to run it through this year, see what they have, see what falters in the playoffs, then go reformulate and readjust. They don't seem like the team that's too urgent to make a move right now, considering I think they're better than we all thought they would be. Toronto Raptor, Onyeka Okongwu, Jaren Jackson, Day'Ron Sharpe. Big, because Jakob Poeltl just got back shots the other day. He got spinal injections. He needs to go see a surgeon, bro, because there's no reason. He's missing a lot of time with his back injury, dude. Like, it's got to be serious. They do need a center, though. Day'Ron Sharpe is cheap, very, like, easily acquirable. You just need to send out. I said Grady. I know it might not be popular to give away Grady in Toronto Raptors fandom, but they need center play. They do. Yak ain't coming back very soon. And on top of that, like, CMB is the only center you have. They were playing Mo Bamba. And I'm not talking about the song. If they were playing Mo Bamba, the song in the arena, I'd have no problem with it. But they're playing the actual guy. Day'Ron Sharpe, cheap, very easily acquirable. I don't mind this at all. Utah Jazz, Max Christie, Jalen Suggs, Ben Shepherd. Any young guard. They just said just take any young guard that can play defense too. Ben Shepherd's a buy low because I don't think he's had a great year. Jalen Suggs, don't think the Magic are giving up on him. And Max Christie, who is a good 3-and-D guard as well. So really just any young guard. And finally, the Washington Wizards. I see Goga, Sam Hauser, Jonathan Mobo. What do the Wizards need? A backup center makes sense. Marvin Bagley was playing the 5, and that's not ideal. Sam Hauser, he's your Corey Kispert replacement. And Jonathan Mobo is just another big guy. The Wizards have been playing fun ball recently, and I do agree they need a backup 5-man behind Alex Sarr. Goga Bitadze is not a bad little pickup there, especially because when Carter's healthy and Wagner's healthy, Goga really doesn't get burned like that. So it wouldn't be a bad pickup at all for Washington. Folks, that is all the teams we have left. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, big shout out to Big Dan Faval. He put out a really good article. This was a fun read, an interesting read. BR usually does good work. I'll link it down in the comments below, or link it down in the description below, obviously. Thank you all for joining me. Like, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm going to go catch a game. See you guys in the next one.